All right, so today we're gonna cook up some gator tail. I'm gonna show you how I do that, show you the recipe that I use for that. This kit right here, this bag, is the bag that our large grill fits in, our large folding grill. And this is a great travel grill. You know, if you're doing surf and turf, you're doing a hunting camp, you're doing Jeep camping, camping in general, if you've got a place to put something like this, this is a great travel item. And the way I set mine up is, you can see on the inside here where the legs fold. What I've done is I've put a cutting board in there, and I've put the new reflector oven in there so I can bake as well, cook biscuits and things like that. So I've got the reflector oven stashed in there and a cutting board, and I just fold the legs over on top of it. It slides in the bag in one package, and it works perfect for that, okay? I'm gonna use a full package of Armour lard here, and I'd rather have bacon grease, but I don't have any right now. I've used it all. So I'm gonna use a package of lard for this, and this 10-inch skillet right here is a really good option for deep frying and things like that. It's got nice high sidewalls on it, and it's just kind of a pleasure to cook in. We need enough of that to get our breaded gator tail down in, so we'll let that melt, get hot, and we'll start working on processing our tail. Okay, so this is gator tail meat, and this is called the jelly roll area of the gator tail, and this is the area that's not muscle on the outside, it's the meat from the inside, so between the muscle and the tailbone. They call that the jelly roll. It doesn't work as hard to move the tail because it's not muscle, so it's a little bit softer, better consistency for eating and things like that. And I've soaked it in buttermilk for a little over 24 hours. That takes any taste out of the meat that may be in there, gamey wise, fishy wise. Not that that bothers me any, but it also tenderizes the meat. So we've got that set aside. And so the next thing we've got to do is we've got to decide what we're going to batter these with. And what I use is this Whistle Stop seafood batter. And the simplest thing to do with that really is to just take yourself like a gallon Ziploc bag. I've got a brand new box of them here. Just pull a gallon freezer bag out and dump this Whistle Stop mix in there. Now I'm gonna mix a little bit of Old Bay with this, just to give it some really good extra heat, which I like, but you don't have to do that. You could just use it as is, all right? And I'll just dump this whole bag inside here, and this will be my shaker bag basically for my gator tail. And then once we've got that, we can set that aside for a minute and mix up some egg batter. And really all we need to do is crack a few eggs into a bowl that we're gonna dip this gator in. It will help hold the batter on. Pretty simple stuff. Now we just want to beat that really good with some type of a beater. Once we get our grease hot, we'll go dip, batter, pan. Dip, batter, pan. Pretty simple, okay? We're just going to, got this double bag. We'll grab a piece of gator out of here. Put a couple of them in this egg batter. Mix them up good in the egg batter. Get them good and coated. Just like that. Okay. Now we can just go from the egg batter into the shaker bag, and then it's really just a matter of opening that thing up, shaking it in, and that dude is then ready to go to the skillet, just like that. And it really is just that simple, you know. I leave that thing for 3 to 5 minutes in the grease. You'll be good. You can tell the difference here. This is kind of a golden brown color. These first ones that got in there a little bit darker brown. And these latest ones are a little bit more golden brown. I like to get them about to that dark brown stage. And I scoop them up out of the grease. This right there done. There you go. Perfectly done gator. Now, for me, I prefer a little slice of cheese or two with my stuff. A little sharp cheddar action there. Zahn says he really don't care. He just wants to eat. And I definitely have to have some hot sauce on that stuff. Don't necessarily need it on the cheese, but if it gets on there, I don't care. All right, I gotta tell you, fellas, it just don't get no better than this. Look at that piece of gator. Oh my God. It is fantastic. Man. So good. So one of the things I want to tell you guys about during this video is, you know, part of the reason to go down to Florida last week was for scouting, so that we could do more classes in Florida. I've done several advanced style classes in Florida, and I've done a couple basic classes in Florida in years past. And I haven't done it for a while because my contact at the Fakahatchee Reserve moved. But the trip that we made to Florida this week, myself and Ty Barker, one of my guys here at the Pathfinder School, made a trip out there not only to hunt, but also to scout. And we're going to announce a Pathfinder adventure camp in the Everglades for the last week of March and part of the first week of April, there that week before Easter. Probably next week. There'll only be 18 slots available for that class, and it's only going to be once a year. So you'll have to get it when it comes out, or you're going to miss out. But it's going to be a fantastic camp, and all the details are going to be on the website. You're going to get guided fishing, guided spear fishing. We're going to process alligator, iguana, several types of fish. We're going to make iguana leather. We're going to make a raft from natural materials. We're going to talk a little bit about navigation. We're going to talk about fire. We're going to talk about sheltering from rain and wind. And we're going to talk about operating in hot, humid environments. It's going to be an awesome, awesome, very relaxed camp of just a good time down there in the Florida Everglades next year. So keep your eye on our website for that. I'll try to make an announcement on my community page when that releases, but it's going to be in the next few days. Zahn, you're being very patient. Very patient. Here you go. We have time. Man, it's so perfect. Golly. I can't lay off that, Zahn. Listen, guys, I appreciate you joining me out here today for this cooking video on deep fried gator tail. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch with Zahn here. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for school, for family, and for business. All of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends, and hope to see you soon out here at the Pathfinder School in Southeast Ohio or one of our classes abroad in 2025, 2026. Thanks, guys.